Bonjour everyone, welcome to my channel French Made Easy with me Rakhi Sajdev. The exams are going to begin in a few weeks and I thought let's go over paper 4 question number 3 which carries 28 marks, which is a huge chunk of marks, uh, and try to maximize the marks here. So for that there's a checklist that I have made which would help all of you to maximize your marks. So here goes. I hope you like it. I hope it helps you. And if you like it, please do like my video and subscribe to it. So when to get the highest grade, that is of 28 marks, it consists of three rubrics. One is task completion for 10 marks, range for 10 marks, and accuracy for 10 marks. Now, for task completion, you need to complete all the tasks, provide detailed and opinion, information, reaction, and the writing is focused. For the range, for 10 marks, you have to use extended, well-linked sentences frequently and use a wide range of simple and complex structures, wide range of vocabulary. Accuracy means getting 8 marks would require you to have accurate spellings and grammar, not necessarily faultless, so few mistakes are accepted but not all. So what does task completion mean here? Completing all tasks means all the bullet points need to be completed in detail using correct vocabulary. And for the range, which carries 10 marks, you need to have each of your sentences, each of your bullet points when you're answering it needs to have long, well extended sentences where you need to use good structures, both simple and as well as complex structures. So we're going to cover all that in this video. The accuracy part, which is for 8 marks, make sure that you have accurate spelling and grammar. So what are the points in that will also be covered in this video. So let's go ahead. So the checklist that I have, which I have taught to my students, is croissant. So keep that in mind, write it down in your paper, question paper croissant, and after you've finished it, start checking. Have I done the C's? Have I done the R? So what are these points? What is CROISSANT? So croissant stands for C, which is connectors, very, very important part of the language. Ensure you have used a few simple connectors such as qui, que, dans, ou, et, pour, ou, parce que, and car, as well as a few higher value connectors such as bien que, par contre, on the other hand, de plus, pourtant, etc. So these connectors, when you use it in your writing paper, they elevate your answer and they make your sentences longer, which is what the examiners want and which is a part of the rubric of range. R is for reasons. Now, many of the bullet points have a pourquoi attached to it, so which asks a reason for whatever is the statement. So it is important to give a reason or a justification when asked for. And when doing so, you need to use any of the following words, that is car, parce que, pour plus an infinitive, à cause de, grâce à, etc. One can also use connectors such as bien que, pourtant. Now, I want to pay attention. I want you to pay attention to a cause de and grâce à. A cause de is due to, grâce à is thanks to. Now, when you're using a cause de, you need to use it for something negative. For example, à cause de la pluie, on ne peut pas jouer aujourd'hui. One cannot play today. Grâce à ma mère, j'ai pu faire mes études. Thanks to my mother, I could do my studies. So the grâce à is for something affirmative, something positive, while as a cause de is for something negative which happened. When you use bien que and pourtant, it really elevates your answer. Of course, it extends and makes very beautiful long sentences, which do attract the eye and make it stand out. So this is our R. So CR is covered. Now the next word to come is O. Here are a few examples of the reasons. Préférez-vous les fêtes à la maison ou en ville? So moi, je préfère les fêtes à la maison parce que c'est plus intime et de plus, c'est moins cher. On peut se relaxer et rester n'importe quelle heure. Now here I have used parce que. I have also used a comparative form, c'est plus intime et moins cher. So using a comparative is a good idea when they ask you to choose between two things. Préférez-vous les fêtes à la maison ou en ville? Préférez-vous voyager en train ou en avion? Préférez-vous habiter en ville ou à la campagne? So whenever they ask you for a comparison, make sure that you use a comparative superlative form. Of course, along with using parce que, car, and the other words that express a reason. Here is another example. Est-ce que votre ami a été content de son anniversaire? Pourquoi? And the answer is given with car. Il était si heureux avec son cadeau et avec la fête car tous ses amis étaient venus. So you're giving a reason. So how many reasons should you give? If one, obviously yes. Two would be even better. So try and give that. Okay. So the next is in the croissant is the O. O stands for opinion. And every bullet point must be answered with at least two details followed by an opinion. Even if they don't ask you for it, but always give an opinion. And very important to note that the opinion must be in the correct tense. The bullet point, the question is asked in the present. The opinion must be with say plus a masculine singular adjective. If the bullet point is in the passé, then the opinion must be in c'était plus a masculine singular adjective. And if it is asked in the future, it will be in the ce serait plus a masculine singular adjective. So here are a few examples. C'est marrant, c'est amusant, c'était entraînant, c'était merveilleux, ce serait génial, ce serait barbant. So use them and use them in the correct tense and make sure that when you're checking your answers that when you've used the opinion, it is in the correct tense and it is a masculine singular adjective. Even though what you're describing would be, even if it is something in the plural, for example, les repas typiques, c'était merveilleux, it was marvelous. I had a meal, j'ai mangé dans un restaurant français et les repas typiques c'était merveilleux. All right. Then is your next I. I stands for intensifiers. Intensifiers such as très, beaucoup, assez, peu, along with an opinion or with an adjective to add more details in your answer and show the examiner a wide range of language. So use très, beaucoup, assez, peu, si, etc. as in the examples given here to maximize your marks. S is for subject and past participle agreement. And this is somewhere that I find a lot of children make mistakes. You will conjugate the verb correctly, but you don't agree. Make sure that there is an agreement of gender and number of the past participle with the subject, especially when the verb is for which use être as an auxiliary verb. All right. So only those verbs that use être as an auxiliary verb, there will be agreement of gender number of the past participles, and this includes reflexive verbs and the verbs in the Dr. Mrs. Van de Tramp list. Please remember that verbs that use avoir as auxiliary verb do not agree in gender and number. Alright, so the past subject and past participle agreement is very necessary. Please check for that in your throughout your answer. Wherever you've used, whichever verb you've used, check. If it is avoir, no problem. But make sure that the adjective, make sure that the past participle used is the correct past participle. Then coming to the next S, star structures. Star structures such as après avoir ou être plus past participle, avant de plus infinitive, en plus participe présent, which is your gerundive, ce qui plus verb, ce que plus subject and verb. These are structures which the examiners love. They show a wide range of your language, and it is asked for in the rubric which I just showed you in the first slide. You need to have well extended sentences using a wide range of simple and complex structures. So all these are complex structures. I will be making another video of only the star structures and explaining each one of them and where exactly they can be used. So that will be coming up soon. But in the meanwhile, try and check in your make your checklist, make sure that you've used at least one or two of these in your answer. A is for adjectives and adverbs. You need to use them in your answer. Very important that you need to make sure that the adjectives agree in gender and number to the noun that they describe and that they are placed correctly. So that comes under your accuracy. So the gender and number of the adjectives will agree with the noun that they're describing, and their placement is always after the noun except if the adjective is in the Bangs adjective. That means it is a adjective of beauty, age, number, good, bad or lack of, and size. So if it is in the Bangs adjective, then only it comes before. For example, in belle voiture, une belle jupe, etc. But when it comes to a color or a nationality, it comes after. Those adjectives come after. Adjectives of quality like elegant and other adjectives, intelligent, etc., they come afterwards, after the noun. But all your Bangs adjectives come before. So they also must agree in gender and number. And coming to the adverbs, remember their placement. They are placed immediately after the verb they qualify. For example, you say j'ai bien dormi, not j'ai dormi bien. All right. So please keep those in mind and check for it in your answer, because unnecessarily then you lose marks because of it doesn't come as accurate. N is for negatives. Try and use a negative expression such as ne personne, ne verbe jamais, ne verbe rien, etc. If not, if you can't, try and use at least ne verbe que, which means seulement or only. Try and use that if you can in your answer. T is for tense. Now, before starting your answer, it's a good idea to write the tense of each bullet point in pencil on the question paper itself, and make sure that the answer of each bullet point is in the same tense as in the question. So that is very important, and that is a checklist that should be there in your checklist for sure. S is for subject variety. So in subject variety, don't use je throughout your answer all the time. Use a mix of subject pronouns, otherwise it looks like a list. So here's an example. J'ai mangé, j'ai visité les monuments, j'ai acheté des souvenirs. For the answer of qu'est-ce que tu as fait quand tu étais à Paris. So instead of saying that, you can say j'ai mangé des repas typiques de France. Ma famille et moi, nous avons visité les monuments célèbres comme la Tour Eiffel or whatever. Et toute la famille a acheté des souvenirs pour des amis. So here you've used 3-4 different subjects. Je, ma famille et moi, that is nous, and toute la famille, which is elle. So try and use a variety of subjects. Don't just stick to je in your answer. And that's it. So keep these in mind. Croissant is your keyword. Write it down in your question paper itself after you've written your answers. Keep checking connectors done, reasons given, opinions given in the singular form, in the correct tense. I've used the superstructures. If you follow this checklist, you should get definitely an excellent mark in this paper. Okay, au revoir, bonne chance pour l'examen, and let me know how you like this video. If you have any questions that you would like me to check, please send them in the comments. Do like and subscribe to my video. Au revoir.